We're coming to the end of earnings season, but that doesn't mean we're still not getting some powerhouse stocks. And this week, I want to talk about the two big kahunas for this week, and they are Broadcom and Costco. Charts looking kind of similar. Both stocks have soared the last 5 years, and both have very good earnings surprise track records. Now, because we are at the end of earnings season, that also means we're going to hear from a bunch of other retailers in the next couple of weeks as things really wind down. This week, we also have some other good retail names in addition to Costco, like Burlington Stores, which isn't just the coats anymore, Ross Stores, Abercrombie, Victoria's Secret, a bunch of these specialty retailers will be reporting. And we're getting a couple interesting restaurant stocks this week to keep an eye on, which is Potbelly and Pollo Loco, to name just two. But I wanted to focus on these two powerhouses because these are really the ones to watch this week. So let's dive in first with Broadcom. So Broadcom in the chip sector, and you know what that means, the AI story. And I pulled up the earnings surprise chart for Broadcom. Yes, it's ticker AVGO. And look at this chart. No misses in 5 years, including the pandemic. We're just about to round trip on the pandemic quarter, the very first one after the kind of the shutdowns began and all of that. And then we'll have the first one within the shutdown quarter. But then it's going to be off the chart. Yes, it's been five plus years now since COVID busted out. Now, this is an interesting chart for several reasons because it does look a lot like NVIDIA's. The stock has been a winner for a number of years, but in a much slower manner during the pandemic. And then it mostly went sideways here in 2022, did not have as big a drop as we saw with a lot of those growth names. And then it's really taken off here. And then just a little bit off of its highs that it hit just last month in February 2025. So attempting to break out again just last month. Year to date, though, the shares are now down about 17% here. And over the 5-year stack, which this chart shows, up about 600% in that time period. So that's really impressive. But let's look at what is really driving this stock. And of course, we have to look at the detailed estimates to do that. And just scrolling down on the sales side, this fiscal year up 18%, next year up 14%, earnings up another 29% this year, and a solid 18% next year. You can see already the analysts are raising going into this earnings report. That's kind of the benefit of reporting late in the cycle and after NVIDIA reported. So the analysts can see, oh, NVIDIA did this, Broadcom, maybe we're being a little too cautious on because NVIDIA reported a very solid quarter and guided above consensus for the next quarter. So we're already seeing some maneuvering on the earnings side. What does that price of consensus chart actually look like? It is a doozy up and to the right, as you can see. 2026, though, all over the place through last year, but now heading higher as well. And 2025. This is interesting in this time period, however. It had the growth up and to the right, but much, smaller growth, but still growth, but smaller. And now is when we're finally seeing this big double digit, 28, 29% earnings growth, and then 18% for 2026. That is what you want to see. Both charts are what you want to see, but that bigger earnings growth while the stock is taking off is key. Now, what's the valuation on Broadcom? It's trading at 31 times. So not too shabby, not too expensive for a stock that's expected to do this kind of double digit. Now, I own this stock in Zach's insider trader portfolio. It's one of the longest stocks we've held in the portfolio over the last several years. We bought it in 2023 because of the AI story, and these earnings continue to rise. We have taken some profit off during that time period because it is a short-term portfolio, but we're holding on to a small position still in the insider trader, and we're going to wait and see if it does it again. I feel like another beat is coming, but what will it say about these earnings? We will see. That's Broadcom, AVGO. And then now we're going to switch over to the other Powerhouse, the one that you all love and you shop there. And it is what I consider to be one of the cult stocks. There are a couple of them where people have bought years ago. They love the company and they have held for years and years. And Costco is its name. It's got a great earnings surprise chart as well. Remember, this is a retailer. And like I said earlier, we had the pandemic back here. And Costco did miss in the first full pandemic quarter, not by much. Look at that, down just 1.6% off of the consensus. Costco would have been popular during the pandemic. If you remember, we were all rushing out to buy the toilet paper and whatnot. So Costco benefited there. It did have another miss right here in 2021, a little bit bigger, 11%. And then a third miss here in 2022. This one also very small, just 1.3%. Otherwise, it's got this great earnings surprise track record. Stock didn't trade off here in 2022 like a lot of the other growth names, and now has taken off like we just saw with Broadcom here in 2023, 2024, and yes, in 2025, it also trading near the highs. So what does the earnings estimates look like on Costco? This one has also been a big winner in the past, but valuation's kind of catching up with Costco here. This fiscal year, sales up 7.4, as you can see. Next year, 6.7. And then earnings double digit this year, 11.9. And then next year, 9.2. Now, both are pretty solid considering the size of Costco and the market cap of Costco. Not complaining about double digit growth with a big retailer. We're not even getting that with Walmart. So at least we are now getting earnings double digits. But the real issue here is really the PE and its other valuation metrics. PE going into this number of 58. This is kind of like a nifty 50 stock here. Yes, the earnings growth is growing and is there. Here's the price and consensus chart. This is a beauty up and to the right with big growth for the last 5 years and still looking that way for 2026 going into this number. But at some point, valuation does matter. And it's trading at almost double the valuation of Broadcom, even though earnings growth expected to be a little bit better and sales growth at Broadcom. Obviously, different industry, but retail, hard to keep double-digit earnings growth going, especially if the economy is going to be slowing. That's kind of the wild card with Costco. Will we finally get a actual recession? And that usually means slowing earnings for the retailers. So we'll see with Costco. But as Zach's value strategist, I'm a little dubious on buying here close to the top. But I've been proven wrong for the last year on Costco. And I know many of you have been in it for even more than this 5-year chart. 5 years. It's up 248%, just for that comparison, almost 600% for Broadcom, but solid gains for both these companies over the lifetime of the stock. Broadcom up 11,589% since 2009. And Costco, a little bit older, 1986. It went IPO. Were you around in 86 to buy that IPO? Up 9,767%. But again, has been one of the real winners, both of these over the last 10 years and even 20 years. Almost 20 years, but not quite for Broadcom there. So these are the ones to watch this week. But as I mentioned, watch some of those retailers. Also watch Thor Industries reporting this week, ticker THO. It's on the RV side. RVs, it's been very much a slowdown in that area. People are not buying them right now. So what are they seeing here in 2025? Has the slowdown worsened or has it bottomed? Has the consumer decided, we will get back into the RV space? That's a key one I'm kind of watching for the consumer sentiment. So keep an eye on that one as well. And as always, I'm bringing you all the earnings charts, but we are winding down now with this earnings season, and this will be my last earnings all-stars for this season. So I'm glad to be going out with these two powerhouses with excellent earnings surprise track records. We'll be watching them all this week. I'll be tweeting out some of these other charts and probably on the conference calls for some of these retailers. So watch my Twitter and Blue Sky and StockTwits feeds for some of these charts on some of these other stocks. But until next earnings season, which won't be here until the summer, be sure to tune in for all of our other videos. I'll be back with a Market Edge podcast, top stock picks of the week, and various other videos here on YouTube. But please do subscribe, and I'll see you again next earnings season with some more charts.